This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections.
Yes, welcome to Race in Action Today. We're here today with special guest Steve Galinsky, president of the Lions Club, and this year's fair president, Fran Reck.
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming here tonight, gentlemen. And tonight's we're going to talk about the fair. I want to talk a little about the history and what goes on there and what we have in the future. Now tell me, we all set for this upcoming fair? We have a bumper sticker I want them to show you. You know, the dates are the 12th
through the
15th
of this year.
This year, September.
Yep. First of all, thank you for having us here. And I am Fran Reck. I am this year's fair president, succeeding Steve Galinsky from last year. I'm not going to say everything's in place, but we're moving, and everything's really not in place until the night before.
Well, people have to realize this is a year-round thing to get ready for this fair. People don't realize that it takes a full year to get ready for the fair.
We essentially start the Monday after the Sunday the fair closes down, where there's meetings and after meetings of the fair, how things went, and we pull together. We have a board of directors, but then there's numerous committees that have individual superintendents and assistant superintendents, and what went right, what went wrong. We instituted a survey a couple of years ago, looking at a lot of comments, and hopefully we can address and make sure that everybody that comes to the fair this year will come out and have fun, and you should not have a problem finding something at the fair to be able to do.
Now,
all ages.
What was the history, Steve, about this fair? How did this all come about?
Well,
it's the 75th anniversary, number one, we want everyone to know.
1948, the Berlin Lions started a fair to help Berlin, with the community and whatnot, with agriculture.
Now, previously, though, they did something else on these grounds, didn't they?
I believe that was downtown, to tell you the truth.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
on Farmington Avenue, if I'm correct.
The original Harvest Fest, I believe, was downtown. The grounds that we have right now were privately owned up until
that date? Okay.
Pretty much.
And then that's when the Berlin Lions took over the Berlin Fair.
Yep.
And they called it the Agricultural Fair.
Berlin Lions Agricultural Fair.
And to this day.
That's what the name still is, yes.
It still is, yes.
And we have lots of cows and sheep and all kinds of other animals.
Yeah, I believe we have some photos of the cattle barn with cows being, judged. And my favorite is to go into the poultry barn. I always have a great talk with TJ, about the chickens and ducks and whatever else is in there. And, of course, the fair encompasses a lot of things now beside agricultural, right?
Sure. There's a lot of different vendors that come out and sell their goods. There's food galore. Every nonprofit civic organization in town pretty much has a dedicated booth on their grounds. They all have specialty items that they serve. It is one of their biggest fundraisers of the year for each of these, for the churches, for the volunteer fire departments, and even the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts have a place there as well. And we get a lot of the young kids involved with their volunteer. And just last year, we started recruiting the cadets from the police department.
Yes.
They were instrumental in helping in parking and going around the grounds and just making the presence be known.
And so this year now, is there anything new that we haven't encountered before at the fair? I know last year the cattle barn was brand new. Yep. This year, I'm not sure what is different or new.
There have been no major renovations like the cattle barn this year. We're improving the track where the demo derby and the tractor pulls will be. That area is getting improved. Buildings are getting spruced up, and we try to keep up to date with all those different things. But we're trying to utilize as much of the grounds as possible. It is a growing fair. We are limited by space, but it is a growing fair, and we pray that we have some good weather this year so that we can park as many cars on the lot as possible.
That's the thing here. You're at the mercy of the weather, and we have to ask God to help us, because without good weather, you're in trouble. I have to tell you a little story about the fair when I was a little kid. I went to the fair with my father, and there was at one time a guy would go up in an air balloon and parachute out on the very area where you have the pavilion parking. In that area, he would literally go. They would blow this old balloon up, go up all the way as high as it'll, and he would parachute out.
Nothing like that this year.
Nothing like that, huh?
I mean, the only thing that, if you want to call it new, but it's an every 5-year event. We will be having fireworks on Friday night, weather permitting.
Oh no!
How about the laser light show?
Laser light show is new. That's true.
That's
Thank you,
brand
Steve, for
new.
bringing that up. That'll be new.
I don't think I ever saw one there. No.
No, so we're gonna try that on. That'll be Saturday night as well. So there will be a lot of, and obviously a lot of the different bands are coming in. Those are all new bands, but it's still entertainment that we've had before. We have our entertainment superintendents of entertainment try to do their best to bring in a variety of bands, not just bands, but different little small acts that the children will love, and bring in things for adults as well, all ages.
You know, it's good to have a variety of things. I mean, there was the what do you call it, the races with the mice or rats or whatever.
I remember those, yeah.
Pigs.
And the pigs. I remember putting the dime down and hoping number 12 would run out through the little hole. So
And of course, we have the great exhibits in these different facilities, the youth building, the Kaminsky buildings, the adult exhibits.
Yes.
The tractor barn, right?
Tractor barn is probably one of the more famous things throughout the state. We have tractors that are just been pulled off the farm in there, and thanks to Dave Elkis and his crew, he's restored many of them, and all the tractors on display have a brief history of where it came from, who owns it, and what year it is, and what model it is. So,
and a lot of them come from Berlin. That's the most surprising thing.
A lot have come from Berlin.
A lot of history there.
Towns, yes.
Oh boy, And of course they have the baking contest, right? Which I don't even know what it is this year. Every year is something different. You have to bake for this contest. And the exhibits, though, with the canning and flowers, and I mean, there's so much there to see. It almost takes more than one day to do this.
Now
Right?
go back to the baking. You want to be a judge?
Oh, gee.
I'm sure we can arrange that.
I don't mind.
We can arrange
Come
that.
in, that'll be good.
Yeah.
We'll blindfold you.
Blindfold me, sure. It's always a good thing.
You like to eat all the food around the
I
fair,
do.
like
I do.
everybody else.
Let me tell you, I make the rounds. That I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's the beauty of all the different civic organizations. Everybody has their own specialty. Mm-hmm. My mom was involved with one of the churches, and they do their fried chicken dinner, and another booth will have turkey legs, a lobster roll, and so on and so forth.
Everyone has their thing.
Apple fritters.
Apple fritters this year,
Oh,
that's being taken
I
over by the
love clam
Berlin ones.
fritters. Oh my dear, they used to have clam fritters there years ago. Oh my dear, I love them. But you don't see it no more. But maybe it'll come back. You never know. Now tell me, what about helicopters? Any activity with that this year?
No helicopter rides this
No
year.
helicopter rides. No, that went away.
We tried it a couple of years ago. It was a success. The issue is we lose a lot of parking because they need that area, and we are limited with parking. And even with the fireworks on Friday night, we're going to lose that same parking area as well. But
Now,
we think it's a great thing.
if I'm thinking right, even fireworks are new. We never did that, did we?
5 years ago.
Oh, we
we
did.
did.
Okay,
Every 5 years they do.
and that'll be on a Friday night.
Friday night, yes.
Now, that night, is there a pull, like a truck pull or something, too?
I believe so.
There is something going on, some kind of pull, and I think the truck pulls are either Friday or Saturday. I think the tractor pulls are Sunday.
I believe so.
Yeah, so, but there will be the website is getting updated constantly with all the different information and all the different agenda items as well.
Speaking of websites, I would like you gentlemen explain to people how they could get tickets to the fair so they don't have to wait in line or anything. Could you help us with this?
It's is it .com? CT Berlin Fair.
CT Berlin Fair.
Yeah, and
.com.
.com, and there's many many links on there, and I believe right on that homepage it says buy tickets now, and you just click that button and you go through the process.
And you get, they'll print the ticket?
You can print it or store it on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I usually do like a screenshot. This way it's right there when I need it. Don't have to worry about internet.
Yep, yep. And so that'll save them time when they come off the parking lot. They don't have to wait in line.
Yep.
That's
Come
true.
off the bus if they take the
come off
shuttle
the
bus.
buses. The lines are going to be pretty well marked. If you have your prepaid ticket, you can get into this line here, and if you need to buy your ticket, you can get into the other line and try to
Go through bag check and you go right in.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been progressing with the ticket and the entrance quite a bit over the last few years.
Now, when you say bag check, what are they looking for?
Weapons, knives,
Okay, any
anything
kind of...
that's going to hurt somebody.
Okay, nothing to do with drinking water or
No.
anything, right?
No.
This got to be something that'll hurt somebody.
Basically, yes.
Yes. And that's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's it. We got to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You want them to come in and have fun. If somebody comes in and with an inappropriate item, that the only thing that can happen then is trouble. So we want to
right.
make sure that
We want to cut that short.
the kids are happy, and the parents. If the kids are happy, then usually the parents are happy.
Yeah. So tell me now, every church in town has a booth at the fair,
Almost every church.
Not every church. And
and they sell certain things, and the American Legion too, right?
American Legion.
They have their
Fire
certain
department.
menu
Fire
every
departments.
year. They have certain things, right?
Yes.
I know clam chowder is a favorite thing of mine. I think it's the Legion that
Yes, it
does
is.
that, right?
Yes, it is.
As you
And
can-
Lobster Bisque is Sacred Heart Church. That's another one I like.
Yeah, yeah. I belong to Sacred Heart actually, and I was very happy to find out, Steve, that gentleman, the kid who wants to be an Eagle Scout, took on that as a project to revamp the building. I mean, that was a special thing.
They
really.
painted it. It looks very
And
nice.
yeah, that's
I
what
think
I
they
heard.
finished it last Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
So that was a good thing,
And he had 13 volunteers that helped him. So
And
did
that's,
really good.
That's what you need to point out is that the Berlin Lions organization is maybe 120 members strong. We do have our core people that are there regularly. However, if it wasn't for the extra volunteers, many volunteers well above and beyond that, we
Yes,
could
yes.
not run this fair.
Yeah, you do have a good list of people that volunteer to help.
And it's not just people helping the Berlin Lions booths. Every church and the fire department, they bring in their own volunteers as well. And
Yeah,
it can't be done without the volunteers.
So, hey, it's a lot of work.
But the sole purpose of that fair is to give back to the community.
That's the other thing now. A lot of the money that is made in the fair from ticket sales, is charity. Am I correct?
Yes.
Some of it has to go to fix things.
Well, of course.
But
maintenance.
the majority of the money is all charity, right?
And all our members volunteer their time to do a lot of the maintenance.
Yes, we have work nights, regular work nights, Monday and Wednesday, starting, it's late April, early May, and whatever needs to be done. We have a core group of people that are electricians. We have some plumbers. We have some
And
contractors.
they're professional people.
Yeah,
They are professional people.
I mean, they're donating their time, and believe me, they're not cheap people if you have to hire somebody on the outside.
Painters. There's another one.
Yeah, it's another one, yeah.
And everything that comes in ultimately will go back into the fairgrounds or ultimately end up in our charities organization, which is given out to many different people.
Now, the other question I had, the fair committee or group is separate from the Lions,
Well, it's part of the Lions Club, yes.
but it's a separate organization.
It has a
though,
separate
right?
president, which Fran is.
Yes,
It has it is a separate entity,
separate
but,
entity.
but
yes.
all under the umbrella of the Berlin Lions Club.
Okay, all right. In the 75th year, huh?
75th anniversary this year, yes.
That's special, let me tell you.
Well, that's why you have fireworks and a laser light show.
Laser light show, and you name it. Like I said, the website is getting updated continually as new acts come in and get and sign with their contracts. They'll be posted on the website, and a lot more advertising is begin to probably see a lot more advertising out there in the very near
Well,
future.
sure. You know, the other thing I meant to tell somebody who does advertising is this station has very reasonable advertising rates for that type of thing. And I don't think in the past we have never taken advantage of that. But they're very, I'll tell you, they're economical. You know, advertising is usually very expensive. But they're very good here. Somebody, I don't know who to talk to or who we need to get involved in this. I'd like them to check with them and see what they could do, you know?
We can give you
We
that
can give you that
information.
name off there, definitely,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
You know, because I know the more you advertise, the better off you are in reality. And the Berlin Fair is, I mean, to be around this long, they got to be doing something right there, right?
Well, we are the biggest little fair in Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
You know,
The biggest little fair.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That was a brand name given it, you know. So I'd rather not be known as a little fair, but rather a big fair. But that was a brand name given to us several years ago.
I'm curious how that came about. Jeez.
a couple years ago, you know.
So yeah,
So we got from the 12th to the 15th, right? There's truck pulls. We don't know. I think it's Friday night.
Usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
right. Whether it be trucks or tractors.
Yeah.
and
or
whatnot.
antique tractors.
Yeah. And of course, the other thing at the fair, which I always enjoy, is the historical people.
The Berlin Historical Society has
Yes.
has a dedicated building
Yes.
that they have many displays in there, and the people are very knowledgeable. And if
Very-
you just,
a lot
just
of
need
history.
to stop in and just
Oh yeah, all
away
history in there, you know. And it makes it interesting for people who are not from town to see what went on in this town. You know what I mean? Now, as far as future endeavors, anything in the horizon people talking about up on the mountain or anything like that?
Not really. The mountain is very relatively steep, wooded, rocky. It's really not something that you can
Yeah,
build
but
upon.
like, you don't think you can make a walking trail through there or something?
Well, there is a trail up there.
There's a
Well, I
trail
don't
that goes
know.
to the top.
I don't know. I don't know.
It is private land, though. You have to remember that. And but you know, there are trails that lead to the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, I've been up there. I don't know if you've been up there before.
And the power lines
And
are
the
up
power
there.
lines are up there
Yeah,
now, and so that's another thing. You know, with the EverSource and a couple of local companies, they contribute quite a bit to us as well to help us out. So
Yeah.
it pays for everything, and it's helpful when we get all these volunteers. And I know our electricians are busy wiring things up, and he's a retired employee from EverSource, and he brings a lot of EverSource employees down.
Mm-hmm.
They donate their time as well when they're
Yeah.
doing things like that. So.
Now, what are the hours of the fair now?
So Thursday will be 4 to 10.
4 to 10?
Friday is 11 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, 10 to 10, I believe. And then Sunday, I believe, is 10 to 7.
Wow.
I might be off by an hour or
Saturday
two.
is
But
9.
9? Okay.
9.
I'm there at 6:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we're all
it's-
there.
we're all there before it opens and after it closes.
Yeah. There's
So,
always something to do. I don't care.
Yeah, breakfast first.
Yes, absolutely.
well, sometimes you have a chance to get breakfast. But
Yeah, I have done that.
the website does identify the hours of
Yeah.
each day as well.
Now, I got to ask you, what's your favorite food there?
Mine's a lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque. Okay.
This
That-
year might be fritters.
Now, is that, what is that a church lobster?
Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Heart.
Okay. And what's yours, Fran?
So I've been in the parking lot for many years, and many times I don't get a chance to get in. And a hot dog or hamburger is brought out. So if I can get in and get something, anything is favorite. My mom worked worked behind the little booth in the Kensington United Methodist Church where they sold the chicken. So it's always something I like to try to get back to. It's just really
that would be a.
it's really
I'm sure.
more,
I'm sure
a
it's very
sentimental
good.
thing, so,
you know.
but-
Oh, yeah.
I know myself. I like the baked potato. Believe it or not.
Yep.
And that big hot dog. They got some kind of a hot dog that's huge.
It's a quarter-pound hot
Quarter
dog.
pound hot dog.
Oh my God!
Right on the corner, just south gate.
As you
entrance.
guys could tell, I don't miss many meals. You can see that, right?
That's why I think Steve asked you if you wanted to judge the baking contest.
Yep.
You know. But
Hey, that may be something where we will.
And, you know, they still do a pie eating contest, Larry.
Oh no,
still-
I
You
won't
wanna
do
enter that one?
Oh no, oh no, I couldn't do that. You know, pie eating contest. And what kind of pie is it?
I think it's either apple or blueberry.
It's
Oh,
been,
wow.
I think it's been blueberry in
Has
the
it been
past, just
blueberry?
because it's a messier.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's a
Messier
little
thing, so-
messier. I'm sure.
um,
I'm sure it's an interesting event, huh?
Yeah, they still do like the nail.
The nail driving.
nail driving.
Yep.
Yep.
So we still have those old-fashioned things that you done years ago.
Well, the kids used to have the tractor, the
toy tractors.
Toy
toy
tractors,
tractors.
right, yes.
Well, would they race or I don't know what they would do.
I think they
Right.
still have those.
They still
They,
have that.
they did. I believe they did last year. I think they had
Yeah.
one. So
I believe I have a picture of the little ride that they take you around the fair and with these carts.
Oh, the tram.
What do you call that?
The
little
kids' tram.
Little kids tram, yes.
The little tractors, imitations, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And now we have a picture that I want them to show. And I know my buddy Baroni there, Al, I'll tell you, he's been a great help carpentry-wise. He's just been outstanding, you know. And he gets Dave, you know. Dave is like his slave, I call him.
It may be
buddy.
the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
And we bring that in the parade and whatnot in
Yeah,
town.
that's in the
Yeah.
parade. During the fair, it really too crowded to run that around during the fair. So
Yeah.
but,
They did last year down in that
the
lower
bottom,
area.
Yeah, in the back
If
they
it gets a
did,
little too
yeah.
crowded, but
Now, this year, is there a parade of tractors this year? There was last year
During the fair?
at the fair, yes. They had like a little parade of the old tractors running around. I
Don't know.
Maybe not. this
Nothing
year.
that I'm aware of. Those are usually impromptu, and
Yeah.
he may run a few of the tractors around the back, but you know, and,
Yeah.
we can bring
And
that
of
up.
course, the go-kart people will be in action, right?
They'll be
They'll
in
be
action
there
Friday and Saturday.
yeah.
And I mean, kids are always up for that. Let me tell you, they all love to go watch that, you know, because they have visions of doing that someday.
Oh, sure. Future NASCAR racers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, they got to come from somewhere, you know.
That's it.
That's true.
And as far as something new, though, in the works, you have no knowledge of nothing talking about it or.
Nothing extravagant. I mean,
Well,
we do-
there's always something talked about, but there's so many things. Mm-hmm. And it's like hard to pick one or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's why we have a long range planning committee to work on these things
Now
for
that's
the future.
that's what they do. The long range planning committee will actually talk about things
Yep.
that we may do in the future.
Ideas will be brought in and presented to the long range planning committee, and then they'll have to look at, you know, budget. You know, do we have the real estate to do certain things? Do we have the budget to do certain things? What's the payback? And it is made up of several different superintendents, so it could be associated with a new building. It could be associated with
now
something with a
that's
parking.
another good question. Is there any opportunity to expand the real estate?
Not really.
If the only way we could expand is taking away the parking, and we're one of the few fairs that actually
I
offers
mean,
some
what I'm
significant
talking about is going up the hill. You know, there's nothing over there.
wetlands, unfortunately.
It's wetlands and it's too rocky and
Yeah.
things like that.
And across the street from the fair,
It's all houses.
it's all houses.
It's all
and
houses.
There's no active, no chance to do anything there, right?
When I was a kid, that was parking.
Yeah, I remember. I could remember that. Yes. You know, I could remember so many things at that fair. It's just something you like. It's part of your life when you're a young kid. You know.
But at least we use our fairgrounds for other things also.
They're
Just-
used.
it's used year round.
Well, let's take this weekend. We have the Pickle Festival.
Pickle Fest this
Yep.
weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. It's a huge event. It's a pretty significant event, and we'll be down there. They're setting up. They started setting up yesterday. They'll continue to set up today, tomorrow, and Friday, and they are using essentially 100% of the grounds inside the fence line.
Wow. Now they use the Kaminsky building.
They're using pretty much every building, I believe, but
Except for the
Shady
cattle barn.
Rest.
I think they're using cattle barn.
I'm not sure they're using Cattle Barn either, but pretty
Now,
much.
is there anything going on during this festival making pickles?
That we don't know.
That's a good question. It's a separate entity. They're coming in and they're renting the fairgrounds, and boom.
I'll tell you, I'm interested. I like homemade pickles, and I'm really interested to see what goes on there.
And then
Come
in
on down.
August, Made in Connecticut show.
The Made in Connecticut comes in
Oh,
August.
wow. I don't even know what's that about though. What
Everything Made in Connecticut.
Everything Made in Connecticut. It's
like
just-
selling it? What did they
Yeah,
sell?
books. And we had authors there last year.
Oh wow.
and multiple car shows throughout the year.
Yes, yeah. I went to a few of them, and I had some good times there. Let me tell you.
As long as there's food, Larry, you're always going to have a good time.
Well, let me tell you. Judging by how I look, I don't miss many.
Don't miss a
meals.
meal. Have what you want when you want
Yeah.
it. That's all. Enjoy your life.
Gentlemen, I have to say, when you're having fun, time flies, and we're going to have to kind of end this talk about the Berlin Fair. I want to really thank both of you for coming here. Of course, you are fellow Lions, which is a very special thing, and we all know that. And I hope to see you in the fair, and I'll be there filming. You know that, right?
Yep.
And thank you
Thank you,
for
Larry.
being here.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and
We'll get the word out.
I want to thank the viewers for watching tonight, and please tune in again next week to Racing Action Today. Thank you. This program is brought to you in part by Just Results Weight Loss Center in Berlin, Connecticut.
The Saybrook Fish House in Canton has been serving fresh seafood, chicken, and prime steaks for 40 years. Experience one of our 3 unique dining room settings, 2 with fireplaces, or relax in our cozy pub with a craft beer, wine by the glass, or specialty cocktail while enjoying a meal from our new lighter fare pub menu. Serving lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations accepted for parties of 2 to 42. Gift cards always available. The Saybrook Fish House, nestled at the crossroads of routes 44, 202, and 179 in Canton.
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lynn.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.